Far too many of us have stories about our parents not accepting us for who we are. So naturally, I have plenty of those stories too. Old ones, recent ones, far too many of them. And while I think it's good to share those stories, I think it's even more important to look past all the pain that we've been caused and share the positive stories too. So I want to share a couple of good experiences that I've had. Generally, my bad stories go with my mom, and my good stories go with my dad. After like 3 years of a mixed reaction from both of them, my dad sort of became my biggest supporter, and my mom my biggest adversary for reasons that I don't really care to go into here. But that's finally starting to change, which is good. But I'm going to share a good story, one involving my dad and one involving my mom. So first the one involving my dad, simply because it happened earlier in time. I was going through my inbox last night, and I found a copy of an email that my dad sent to my mom on the day that I had surgery, which was years ago now. But anyway, it's really touching, and I can't do it justice unless I read it, so I'm going to do that. Here it is. Liz, I'm so sorry that you feel crushed by the fact of Jack's surgery. I suspect you must feel as if you finally lost your daughter today, that she died with the completion of the procedure. I realize that I can't possibly understand your emotions as a mother. Still, though, I can tell from your voice on the phone how broken up you are right now. Both Jack and I feel miserable that you're taking this so badly. It doesn't seem possible right now, but I hope that someday soon you will understand that you gave birth to a beautiful child who is still a beautiful child and who now has a chance to be truly happy. I know you wish that Jack had stopped short of the full mastectomy and settled for breast reduction, but that's not what he would have been comfortable with, so it's not what he wanted or needed. I know you think that Jack will ultimately regret his surgery, and that you feel he duped me into supporting his decision. I know you feel I could have and should have withheld financial support for the procedure until Jack was older. I couldn't do that. I see the situation much differently from you. I see a wonderful child, the same wonderful child who has always been there, merely expressing himself differently and more fully and sincerely now. I want Jack to have the best chance possible to succeed in the world, and I believe that meant eliminating the self-image issue associated with his body. And then a paragraph with personal information I don't want to share, so I'm going to hop to the last one. I am very worried about your current emotional state. You sound desperately sad. I don't know how you can achieve it, but I fervently hope that you can accept Jack for what he wants to be, and that you will come to realize all over again what a special child you gave birth to. He is brilliant and beautiful and a survivor. Please take yourself off the sidelines and become an active part of his life. It will give your own life a special meaning that has been missing for quite a while. Give Jack the gift of your loving motherhood, for him and for you. He really does want you in his life. Be well. So, actually, when I came across that last night, I almost got tears in my eyes. I probably would have, but for some reason, testosterone has made it really hard for me to cry or even tear up. But I was just incredibly touched by what he said, and it reminded me how lucky I am to have such a supportive father. Basically, since then, things with my mom have gotten a lot better, but only recently, like in the past couple of months. I'd say since Christmas or so. I think now that she's finally starting to realize this is a permanent decision and one that's out of her control, she's going to have to accept it. So she still doesn't agree with it, but I think she's finally starting to accept it and finally starting to realize that, what's important is, recognizing me for the child she's always had and not losing that because I'm expressing myself in a way she doesn't agree with. Anyway, so I also have this card that she sent me on Valentine's Day. Basically, up until pretty recently, I would get cards referring to me in the wrong gender, and sometimes, I actually haven't really done this in the last couple of years, but back when I started going by Jack, she used to write it in quotation marks on my cards and stuff, which I guess is better than using the wrong name. But, it's only really recently that she's been acknowledging I'm actually Jack and her son, and for Valentine's Day, she sent me this card, and it says, "A son, from the day he's born, you hope that joy will always find him, that life will be kind to him, that each day will bring him something to remind him how very much he's loved. Jack, wishing you all life's best, son, with love on Valentine's Day. Love, Mom." So, I think she's finally starting to get my dad's message. It took years, but better late than never, and yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you, because those were some really touching experiences I've had, and I've also dealt with a lot of resistance from both parents, not so much from my dad, mostly from my mom, but in the beginning also from my dad, and a little bit from my brother as well. So I understand the pain of not being accepted, and it's horrible, but especially getting this card from my mom made me realize that parents, as horrible as they are in the beginning, can really come through. And I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky that after years with my parents are finally getting it, and that basically from the beginning my dad was there to support me emotionally and even financially. So, I think I have it a little better than most people. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I thought they were really touching stories, and I hope they give someone else hope. Alright, bye.